Welcome to me, where suspenseful, thrilling, and mysterious stories will draw you into a world where the lines between reality and fantasy seem to blur. When the night falls, when all the sounds gradually quiet down, leaving only your own heartbeat and breathing, that's when these stories begin. Tensions, unsolved mysteries, moments that will make you hold your breath in fear or curiosity, all are waiting for you ahead. Find a comfortable seat, dim the lights, and let this sound guide you on a journey that is not for the faint of heart. I want each of you to leave a comment sharing where you are in the world. And if you are enjoying the episodes, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to the channel now. Relax. Are you ready? If so, join me in the first story right now, where pirates came to die. A breath of wind slithered through the ruins and tumbled across his weathered face as he pressed the shard of limestone down the dry ashlar wall, leaving a new etched tally mark. It was a dimly lit chamber inside what was once the world's most notorious pirate prison. For him, it was a sanctuary, a place of refuge. Once the web developer for Shackleford Inc., in a city of skyscrapers, eclectic culture, and ultra-modern technology, Tom Malone scanned his Neanderthal calendar. 240 tallies made up the wall. Some were circled, and only he knew why. Gone were the titles of husband, employee, and neighbor. Given his isolated surroundings, the term castaway was more appropriate. A life filled with country club galas, company retreats, and exotic travel was lost. Survival had replaced living. Tom buttoned his slightly torn flannel shirt and grabbed his coat. He exited the chamber where the wrought iron door, rusted and bent, hung by a single hinge. He moved down the main corridor and stepped through a hollowed-out gap in the outer wall. The Rook, as it was called, was made up of 3 layers, undoubtedly to make escape near impossible for even the smartest buccaneer. If the legends were true, the Rook had seen the likes of Edward Davis and even Black Anthony. Zipping his coat, he trudged down the path to the beach. This was his routine every day. 2 laps around the island. The overcast sky produced a gloomy horizon, but that was normal for this time of year, or so he assumed. If the tallies were correct, it should be October. The sea was a gray mass of rippling currents. Tom breathed profoundly, absorbing the salty fragrance. The flow of the ambient tide took him back to simpler times when walking on a beach meant hunting for shark teeth, metal detecting for forgotten coins and jewelry, and collecting seashells that made their way into the guest bathroom. Such days seemed as far out of reach as the horizon. Suddenly, he spotted tracks. They snaked from the north before turning about just outside the Rook's outer wall. He recognized the tread patterns as those of a Jeep Wrangler. Tom followed, occasionally glancing over his shoulder. When he reached the familiar bend on the beach, he heard the blast of a horn and dove behind a line of palm trees. Peering through the trunks, he noticed a docked ferry on the beach. A jeep was climbing the ramp onto the ferry. Personnel in neon-colored jackets moved about the deck. Another search party, he thought. A mustached man in uniform, wearing the same jacket, examined an area in the sand. He spoke into his radio before moving further inland. Tom's heart leapt into his throat when he caught sight of the woman following behind. She wore a yellow raincoat, and her arms were folded tightly as the sea breezes pushed ashore. Her curls flailed and whipped, no matter what direction she faced. She said something to her uniformed companion and advanced toward the tree line. "No," Tom muttered, before slipping back from the bend. He tried to quicken his pace, but the dry sand absorbed every step. Once back in the chamber, he dropped to the floor and focused on slowing his breathing. The acoustics had almost given him away during the initial search months earlier. His heart drummed, and his temporal pulse thumped. He caught his face in the mirror, fragment by the tally wall. It had belonged to the mirror in the cabin cruiser's bathroom before Tom dismantled the $1 million yacht upon his arrival. He gazed at the worn face and graying beard. Then there was the scar, where scalding grease once landed. "Tom!" came the woman's voice. He pressed against the chamber wall like a spy dodging a spotlight. "Mrs. Malone, we've searched the ruins before with no luck." He assumed this was the uniformed man. Tom felt his way down the chamber wall and gripped a loose stone. After a few careful tugs, it came out of its place. He reached into the cavity and pulled out the dust-covered Glock. "Tom!" Squeezing the seasoned grip, he inhaled deeply, closed his eyes, and exhaled. His mind traveled to the frost-covered day after his father was buried. Tom opened the gun cabinet and retrieved the pistol his father taught him to shoot with. "This will be yours someday," he would say at the range. Tom choked back the mist that wanted to erupt from his eyes. None of it matters now. Too much has happened. He took another lungful before pursing his lips and blowing out. He eyed the tallied wall and totaled the circled marks. 16. He suspected as much, but now he knew. One bullet remained. "We need to call off the search." He called out, his voice nearer than before. That meant she was too. "No, he's here. I know it," came her distraught and shaking voice. Tom pressed harder to the wall. He hoped the ancient stone could absorb him and conceal any trace of a man desperate to remain in the shadows. "Ma'am, the weather is slowing us down, and the city cannot afford a stranded ferry with personnel on board. Would you stop if it was your... not if it meant putting others in danger." He ran his free hand over the scar. He traced the tight line of skin that ran from beneath his eye to the corner of his mouth. The sting had subsided long ago, but the hurt ran deep. "Please," she pleaded. "Just let me look in here." The man radioed the ferry that he was making a final sweep of the old ruins, and that preparations for departure should begin immediately. For a moment, all was still. "Tom!" came the frantic echo. He slid his finger over the cold trigger. "Never again will you scar me, Maria," he whispered. A single shot rang from the remnants of a place where pirates came to die. Night call. "What do you want? Hey, can you come over? Are you fucking serious? It is 3 in the morning. No, so. I'm sorry. I know it's late. I just really need you to come to the house right now. I can't believe you. You blocked me. What makes you think I want to see you right now? I've been trying to reach out to you for weeks. Peter, you can lecture me all you want in person when you get here. I really need you to come over fast." "No, forget it. Bye. There's a man outside." "What? What does that mean?" "I don't know. I just woke up. I got up, and when I walked by the window, I noticed that there's this guy standing outside, and he's looking up at me." "Are the lights in your house turned off?" "Yes, they weren't even on." "Okay. How long has he been out there?" "I have no idea. I've been peeking out at him from behind the curtains for like 5 minutes, and he hasn't moved." "Call the cops, Dylan. I don't think they'll take it seriously. He's across the street. He's nowhere near my property. He isn't really doing anything. He might just live in the neighborhood. He'll probably move along soon, but he's been just standing there for a while. It's freaking me out." "Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Wake up your dad?" "My dad can't fucking walk. What do you think he's gonna do?" "So is this urgent or not? Why did you call me? What do you want me to do about it?" "I don't know. I thought you could maybe pull up in the driveway or something." "That might be enough to scare him off." "All right, Dylan. I know you're freaking out right now, but I'm gonna have to ask you to turn your brain on for a minute. I live 20 minutes away. Even if I were all too thrilled to jump in my car at the ass crack of dawn and drive over to you, I'd bet you anything that this guy is gonna be gone by the time that I get there. I am not wasting my time and burning gas so that I can drive over to your side of town for nothing. I've already done way too much of that when we were together. I don't owe you that anymore. If you're really, truly scared, then call the police. They will send somebody out. Block me again if you must. I'm going back to bed." "Do you think I like doing this, Peter?" "Don't start. You are the last person on earth I want to talk to right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation at all if I weren't absolutely mortified. There is nobody else I can reach out to about this." "Oh? I'm sure one of your little boyfriends would love to help you out. Why don't you give them a call?" "Yeah, I did. You were not my first choice." Nobody answered. I thought you were mature enough to set your bitterness aside and come help me. I thought my safety would matter more to you than all the trivial problems you had with me. My mistake. Dylan, quit fucking around and call the police. I'm not gonna argue with you. God, you're dense. Wait, I know what this is about. What, Peter? Enlighten me. What do you think you know? There is no guy. What are you talking about? I'm looking right at him. There's nobody outside. I know you, dude. You're scared of everything. There is no way in hell that you'd let some random man stand outside your house and look in your window any time of the day, especially not at 3 in the morning. You would have called the police immediately, not taken any risk calling me to come do something about it. You know that I don't like cops. Yeah, I didn't forget. I know that you don't like creepy men either. You've always struggled with common sense, but I don't think you'd waste so much time reaching out to me if you felt like you were in any real danger. I think you're pulling some fake emergency shit so you can get my attention. Yeah, I think you've been wanting to reach out to me, but you don't want to talk about everything that went down between us before you blocked me. I think it's an immature and disgusting thing to lie about. But it doesn't surprise me that you'd pull something like this. Look, call me tomorrow and we can talk about things. This is just not a good time right now. He's gone. Dylan, were you listening to me? Yeah, whatever. I looked away from the window while you were talking, and I looked back, and the guy isn't there anymore. Oh, I'm sure. Hold on, I'm gonna open the window. Take your time, bud. He's not anywhere down the street. I'm going to check the backyard. I don't remember if I locked the gate or not. So are you just gonna completely ignore everything that I just said to you? Sorry, I kinda zoned out. What did you say? You're fucking sick, man. Is that all? No, it isn't. This little scheme of yours is fucking revolting. I never should have answered your call. I don't have time for this bullshit. I have to get up for work in 3 hours. I know that this is fake because you still haven't called the police. You haven't denied a single thing that I accused you of. You're gonna stretch this conversation out for as long as you can. There's no man in your yard. There never was. You wanted my attention, and you got it. This is genuinely the worst thing you've ever done, Dylan. I hope you know that. I don't want to hear from you ever again after I hang up this call. I'm done with you. I've put up with your bullshit for nearly 5 years, and it ends tonight. This really pisses me off. Man, Dylan, are you listening to me? Dylan. Hi, sorry. Dylan? What happened? Oh, nothing. Huh? Sorry to bother you. I'm gonna go. Wait. Why do you sound like that? What do you mean? You sound different. How? Your voice. It sounds rougher than it did before. I've got allergies. Good night. Hey, hold on. What? Did you hear anything that I told you? I set my phone down. Sorry. Did you go outside? Yes? Okay. Was the gate locked? Yes, I locked it. That's good. So, there's no guy. No. I need you to be 1,000% honest with me, Dylan. Okay. Was there ever really a man outside? No. So you were lying in order to reach out to me? Yeah. Why? I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to talk to me about? No. It's late. I'll call you tomorrow. Hey, Dylan? What? What's my name? My dad is calling me. Dylan, say my name. Good night. Dylan! Sayamontes. The musty dungeons. I thank the Lord for saving me from the dungeons. I was there for less than a day, caught up in the labyrinth. I became heartbroken at the sight of many tortured corpses. I prayed. I prayed for my God to help me. How long must I stay here? Then I remembered I had absinthe, a gift, the perfect gift. I ingested the entire bottle, straight. I could not feel my face. I wanted to cry tears of relief and sadness. Oh, Sayamontes, will you truly be mine? My nipples hardened at the thought. I got goosebumps all over. I quickly became overwhelmed with sexuality. I touched myself here and there. It changed my life. I had never made myself feel so good. Completely intoxicated, I wept. Then, thank you, sweet Jesus. An angel appeared. Prepare yourself. Sayamontes soon shall be yours. Go ahead and touch yourself, for once you are the ruler. You will be touched by many. It will be your duty to produce an heir. I did as instructed, and it felt great. I went to rinse off in the shower, and I heard voices in my head. She hates us straight men. She's openly expressed that she wants to fuck us with dildos, to make us submissive, said one voice. Then I heard another voice say, let's get her when she's alone. What was going on at Sayamontes? I had to get back there. It is true. Sonia was going to overwhelm the male population with sex. Sex. All day, every day, until one produced an heir. The next baby, any baby, would get the crown upon their 13th birthday. She was not joking around. If there was no heir, then it would be off to the gallows with her Richard. It was Richard who found me lost in the dungeons. I would have died down there if he had not searched for me. How did he know I was down here in hiding? Maybe it was Great Leader. Maybe she was alive. Maybe she didn't join the men on the battlefields. Oh my. Oh goodness. Could she still be? Could she still be alive? I asked Richard, how is our Great Leader? Tell me of Sayamontes. Please, please, Richard, tell me, I ordered, as he led me straight out of the dungeons. His torch was finely made. It shone bright. I cried as I smelled the fresh air. The dungeons were so moldy, so musty. I could not stand it much longer. Had I stayed down there any longer, I would have slit my wrists long ways. For that was the right way to end things. Long ways. Slice through your veins and your tendons. Cut them up, I was thinking to myself. Cut them up. As Richard and I reached the higher ground level of Siamontes, I shed a tear. I instantly left Richard. I could not help myself. I had to see my great leader. And I did. I saw her huddling with the masses. They were praying to God for the forgiveness of their sins, though they were the ones attacked. I interrupted their prayers. There would be no more asking for forgiveness. Beautiful women, what you did today was not wrong. Halt your voices. Halt your madness. You have reached victory today, and you have saved Siamontes. Then Great Leader approached me. Then all of the women and Richard rushed over to me. They cheered me on with adulation. "Oh, great new leader," said Samantha, and I screamed, "No, I am and will always be Sonia, and Richard is always to be my guide, my great protector, my knight in chainmail armor. Oh, glorious young knight. Richard, will you join me in my new chambers after I rinse myself, please?" It was time to get busy. Ladies, to the showers. Perhaps we can all make Richard our king. Martha, you were a great leader, but now, can you find new chambers to sleep? I shall find somewhere else to sleep. It is cool weather. Perhaps I shall grab some blankets and sleep on the hard concrete bench next to the fire pit, since there are no more rooms available in Siamontes, except for in the dungeons. Martha raised her voice at me, her new leader. I was stunned. Why would she do such a thing? I loved Martha, but she did send me to the dungeons when she could have just locked me in the wardrobe up in the attic. She could have had someone deliver me food and water, or she could have done it herself. How dare you raise your voice to me, not 1 minute after giving me all power over Siamontes? How dare you? I could send you off to the dungeons for a night, or 2 or 20, or more. See what you think of it. While I was down there, I saw your predecessor. She was cuddled up next to a corpse. Is that where you want to end up? I think not. To the gallows with you, I ordered. And just like that, the beautiful women went from loving Martha to hating her. Tar and feather, tar and feather, to the gallows with her, shouted the women in unison. In Siamontes, you never disrespect your leader. It could be punishable by just the stocks for a lesser offense, then the gallows, then it was execution, much easier than a week in the gallows without food or water. You would pray for rainfall and not get it. Pure and intense suffering. And the mosquitoes at night would make you wish you had never been born. Stuck in your own filth, you could cry out to God all you wanted, but not even He could unlock the locks in the stocks. Strip her and search her right here on the spot. Then lock her away in the gallows until her death. Wait! screamed Martha, but it was too late. They ripped off her dress and everything else. They had to drag her through the mud in the rain, way to the gallows. Sludge covered Martha. She looked disgusting and pathetic. The stalks first, the hands second, and the head was locked in third. Lick at the rainwater. You'll die slower, I said. Then we abandoned her. We went back inside, Siamontes out of the rain, and we rinsed off in the showers. We met Richard in my chambers, and we all had a good time. Perhaps this would be my good reckoning. Perhaps sweet Richard could give us an heir. I just wish he had a better nose and stronger thighs. Not the best in the bedroom. Richard would die soon at the age of 19. But that is a story for a different day. Good night, Eye of the Horse. "Oh my God!" shrieked the women sitting in the airport van, third and fourth row bench seats, as the frigid air rushed in. "No!" I yelled, now alone and motionless in the second row. I never saw a guy die before, but I wasn't totally surprised by what happened. "The door just opened and out he went," sobbed one of the gals in the rear of the van. His body slammed onto the pavement of Pena Boulevard at 70 Mamie, then was splattered by the U.S. Foods 18-wheeler behind us. Steak delivery to Elway's Tap Room and Grill at Denver International Airport was definitely delayed that day. I wish I had never started a conversation with the guy next to me on American Flight 5460 Louisville to Denver. Or maybe I should have warned him to just close his eyes. That day won't stop playing back in my mind. It started innocently enough. "Hi, I'm Jim from Meeker." "Where are you from?" I said to the guy in the window seat. "My wife Annie says that if I get the middle seat, I should always make friends with my neighbors to avoid any armrest fights." I flashed him my biggest gas and oil business smile. "Oh, hello. I'm Brian from Kentucky. Well, at least originally," he replied while extending his oddly sweaty hand. "Where's Meeker?" "Actually, I live on a horse ranch just west of Meeker in northwestern Colorado. Horse country, just like you in Kentucky." I pulled up the bottom of my boot-top business jeans so he could see my Tony Lamas. "Oh, hell no. I don't live anywhere near horses now, and never will. I'm a lawyer for the U.S. Department of the Interior." Brian's upper lip was sprouting beads of sweat with that comment. He looked like a size 48 man in a size 44 suit coat. I thought that might explain the perspiration. "That's too bad," I said. God never made another animal so connected to human beings, except for maybe dogs. My stallion's big brown eyes can look straight into my soul. After a rough day of selling natural gas and fracking pumps, there's nothing like some quality horse time. Mind if I ask what happened between you and a horse? Oh yeah. You could say something happened. I was 15 years old. and a bunch of us decided to cut across a horse field to take a shortcut home from the school bus drop off. Out of nowhere, this huge old gray horse charged at us and damn near bit me as we escaped over the fence. It had one scarred eye socket, and the other eye was all red and bulging and bloodshot. Scared the shit out of me. I fell off the fence and broke my right wrist. I cursed that horse, and I think he cursed me. Look, it never did heal right. Brian pulled up his sleeve, held up his meaty right arm, and revealed a wrist that was weirdly bent like a spoon. Yeah, I can see how that would spook you. How did the horse lose its eye? How the hell am I supposed to know? I was just a kid, and I sure didn't have anything to do with it. From that day on, old One Red Eye charged up to the fence and acted like it wanted a piece of me anytime it saw us walking along the road by his pasture. Hey, have you seen a stewardess yet? I really need a drink. Now Brian's hands were trembling a little. Our jet pivoted onto the runway. All eyes looked forward. Engine jets roared, and we accelerated with 3 Gs pulling us backwards into the seats. Then the wheels were up, and we were airborne. Hey, darling, could you please get my friend here an old-fashioned? And could you please put it on my credit card? Flight 5462's stewardesses looked like they were recruited from the geriatric ward, older and slower than the spry, shapely young ones from the good old days of air travel. After a few gulps, Brian's hands stopped shaking, but his mouth kept on running. That's not all, Jim. I biked across country when I was 25 years old and almost got trampled to death by wild horses. My buddy and I were in Warm Springs, Nevada, the middle of nowhere in Nye County, with the largest wild horse herd in America. Warm Springs had a one-building combined bar/restaurant/gas station/grocery store. We were exhausted after biking the 50 miles from Tonopah in 100-degree heat, and asked the barkeep if it was okay to pitch our tent for the night near the picnic table beside his establishment. He said, "I don't give a shit." So we did. We conked out right away, and hours later woke up to the sound of thunder. Then the noise became deafening, and the ground and tent walls really shook. I peeked out between the tent flaps and saw nothing but the hooves, shanks, and fetlocks of hundreds of wild horses. It wasn't an earthquake. We were in the middle of a fucking wild horse stampede. Brian's eyes were now bugging out, and his face was red, wet, and kind of wild looking as he continued. He leaned in toward me and spoke in a whisper. "Jim," I curled up in the goddamn fetal position, preparing to be killed by horses. I don't mind telling you that I actually pissed myself. The guy in the aisle seat, who I never did get to make friends with, heard what Brian said, shifted away from us, and put on his headphones. I guess he had overheard enough. I wish I had done the same. Brian gulped down a second old-fashioned and collected himself a bit. "Jim," when the noise stopped and the dust started to clear, we crawled out from our tent, expecting to find our bikes and our gear flattened and mangled. But Jim, not a single tent stake or guy rope was disturbed, and our stuff was untouched. There was no way I could sleep after that shit. And we had 75 miles of desert road with no water between Diablo and Ash Springs. So, my buddy insisted that we pack up and pedal before the sun came up. I wasn't too thrilled about him pushing the whole ride in the dark idea. Just as we made it to Diablo, I heard a sound like horses snorting off to our right. And Jim, I swear, I saw one of those wild horses staring right at me with two glowing red eyes. My buddy said I was seeing things, but I know what I saw. Right then, my bike freewheel jammed and sent me flying over the handlebars. I didn't break anything, but I whacked my shoulder and scraped the shit out of my leg. That was it for me. He rubbed his left shoulder like it happened yesterday. The armpits of his polyester suit coat were soaked. I wish I had told Brian that I needed to get some sleep before we landed in Denver. But I didn't. He might be alive today if I had ended our conversation right then and there. "Jim, don't you know the only building in Diablo, Nevada, was a road maintenance garage? The night shift worker there refused to lend us the use of their tools. Sorry, state property boys. So I stayed there till the sun rose and hitched a ride to Las Vegas and flew home. Instead of a relaxing flight home, I got the scare of my life." Brian took another swig from his drink. "Jim, I sat next to this Navajo Indian dude on the plane ride home and told him my story, just like I'm talking to you. He was tall, wore a fancy black suit, and had his hair all pulled back and tied by a white cloth, but smelled like he just came from a campfire. He never said a word until he slowly turned toward me and said, 'My people believe the sun-bearer created the horse and placed the stars and the dark universe in the horse's eyes so they can see the dark. You know darkness can kill a man. So can the number 3. Then he got up out of his seat and went to bathroom and never came back. With that, Brian's face tuned pale. I thought he was finally done with his weird story, but he leaned into me again and whispered, "Jim, I think he figured the horses see something dark in me, and I am afraid I'll die if a red-eyed horse looks into my eyes a third time. So, no 3 strikes and you're out for me. No fucking thank you. I don't want to see another horse in my life. My sister just moved to downtown Denver, and I just want to visit her and maybe see a Nuggets basketball game. Yeah, I think some big city shopping and a pro basketball game would do you good, Brian," I said. But now he's dead. I told my wife Annie all of this when I got home. Honey, I was afraid to tell him about that 32-foot-high blue Mustang sculpture. You know, the one just outside the airport that has, of all things, 2 glowing red eyes. I was sure he would go into a full PTSD episode or a seizure if he knew that we call the statue Lucifer. Remember how a section of that 9,000-pound statue fell on that Jimenez guy who sculpted him, and how it crushed his leg and severed a big artery and caused him to bleed to death. I figured he didn't know the story of the crazy guy who hopped out of his car and fired his gun at Lucifer, then turned it on himself. Annie, after we landed, I rode in the same airport van on the same front bench seat as Brian, specifically to distract him as we passed by Lucifer. "You did everything you could to help that poor man, Jimmy," she said, trying to console me while she slipped into her nightgown. "Seems like it's the van company's fault for that sliding door not locking right, sweetie. At first, I didn't think Brian ever actually saw Lucifer's red eyes. But just after we passed that bastard blue Mustang, he looked at the driver's rear-view mirror and saw Lucifer all reared up on his hind legs with those red eyes beaming. Brian looked at me, and before I could say anything, he just opened the van's side door, and out he went. I should have warned him about the statue. I could have saved him. Annie said, "Oh my God, sounds like that guy had deep issues, and nobody can save that kind of crazy. Why don't you go down to the barn and check on your horses? They always calm you down." I couldn't tell her that I thought about horses and red eyes when I saw car taillights on the road ahead of me as I drove home that night. I couldn't tell her that I was worried about looking into my horse's eyes or what they would see in me. I couldn't tell her that on my last business trip, I had sat next to a Navajo Indian. He wore a black silk business suit, white button-down shirt with turquoise cufflinks, and a thin black leather necktie. His long black hair was pulled back in a traditional CL hair bun, and he smelled of burnt sage. He only spoke one sentence to me, and then got up to go to the bathroom and never returned. I hadn't even introduced myself yet. He simply turned to me and calmly asked, "Aren't you worried those natural gas and fracking pumps are harming Mother Earth?" Who was it then? Friday night, Mary, a 24-year-old girl tired from job, was going to her childhood bestie, Julia. "Julia and I studied in the same class," murmured Mary, sitting in Metropolitan. God, I can't believe this is happening. I am going to meet my best friend after 9 years. I am full of tears," said Mary, with eyes full of tears in her eyes. Actually, these tears were symbolizing her happiness and grief at the same time. She was remembering the moments spent with her Julia. "Hey, miss, can we talk, if you don't mind?" questioned Mary from a young lady in front of her. The young lady was surprised that a girl wanted to share her feelings in an excitement. She could not stop herself from knowing the reason behind her excitement. "Yeah, of course," replied the young lady. "Myself, Mary. I am 24 and work for Walmart. Just got a weekend free for myself. I am just going to meet my childhood bestie named Julia. I still remember the days we bunked up classes together, the way we jumped in the playground, enjoyed the lunch together, stole food of other classmates, and ruined the notebooks to be checked by teachers." Ha ha. Mary spoke out all of this in breathless. But wait, she started crying while laughing. What was it? Wondered the young lady. She asked the reason that why she became suddenly sad. Mary replied, she was always in a gloomy mood in the morning. Her dad used to beat her mom a lot. She was from Islam. She used to tell me that her dad did not allow her mom to stand, even by the window of balcony. Slapped her mom without telling any reason. Always in a hurry of money for drinking alcohol. One day, her mom refused to give money for it. As a result, her dad broke a leg of her mom. She became very upset on that day. I advised many times to her that she should encourage her mom for divorce. But she said that mom will never agree upon it. On the day she told me about her mom's broken leg, I did not know that it would be the last day to see her in the school. After that, she never came. Just this is the story of ours. Ah, that was such a sad ending, wondered the young lady. So now you are finally going to meet up your bestie, right? Asked the young lady. Yes, replied Mary. The young lady asked her that. From where did Mary got her friend's address? Mary told that she went to her friend's old address, and the neighbors told that the family has shifted to Newtown B. Ah, just 2 kms away, and my destination will be right there. I am coming, Julia, spoke Mary. The young lady asked her many other questions, like why did Mary wait for so many years? Mary told that she became busy in her busy and boring life. Also, she answered her many other questions. Now, it was the time when Station was finally going to be there. The young lady could not stop herself from getting off with Mary. She actually wanted to know about many other things, and also wanted to know that how does her friend and family look now. She decided to go with Mary to Julia's home. When they both finally arrived at their destination, Mary knocked the door. A man aged about 70 to 72 opened the door. Mary ran to the house and started shouting, "Julia! Oh my Julu! Julie, where are you? I have arrived. Now don't play hide and seek." The old man spoke. "What rubbish! What the hell is it?" Julia was my wife. She died 40 years ago in a car accident with her mom. Mary replied, "I am not joking. I know her since childhood. She could not be dead, and she was young, not that much aged. We played just 9 years ago. She told me everything happened to her mom. Mary told all the information and story about Julia to that old man. The old man shocked and cried with tears that the story was real. He went to his old suitcase and got a very old album of Julia's birth to marriage pictures. He showed it to both the ladies. They got extremely shocked. The old man said, one day she was drunk from a party. She was driving to get back to home with her mom, and I was waiting for her at the dinner with my brother and his wife. The car just crashed the huge truck, and after that, she died. Her mom was in coma. But Julia was not anymore. She left all of us with that heartbreaking feeling. Julia's story is exactly matching to the story of her mom's recent life. I don't know. Where did you got this information? From the kids? It's been 40 years. She is dead, but I always try to feel her presence. But she never came in my dream, not even a single time. I don't know how to meet her. I just want to get that soon. I hope this is possible as soon as possible. I'm just waiting for my death each day. Actually, yeah, it is true that her childhood was really very bad. Her dad used to be her mom. Without any reason, didn't allow her to move outside with freedom. Once he broke her leg as well. And after that, her mom became handicapped. Julie met me, and we were married. We were actually good friends in college. After we got married, her dad was dead. Her mom shifted to us. They both were actually happy, but she never could forgive her. That because her dad had ruined her mom and her childhood. The flood got out of their feet that how could this happen? Mary was shocked that the story was true, and Julie's face was the same. But how could this be like that? She was an old lady, already dead, and wondered that what about the girl she played with all the time? All of the three started crying, and the young lady was very frightened. She tremblingly said, Who was it then? Nowhere to be found. She's gone missing? When? Last night. I woke up this morning, and she wasn't in her bed. I thought maybe she'd gone to the bathroom, but she wasn't there either. I checked everywhere. Oh my God, Tori, did you check the backyard? Maybe she went outside to play early. Of course, I checked the backyard. I checked the whole house, top to bottom. She's not the type to just wander off, especially not to this early in the morning. Okay. Have you called the police? Not yet. I don't know. I was so panicked. I called you first. You know how they are. They'll assume the worst, that I'm a bad mother. Tori, stop. Listen to me. You need to call them now. The sooner they start looking, the better. Every second counts. You're right. I'll call them now. Good. I'll be right over. Just stay put. Thank you, Sam. I don't know what I'd do without you. Don't worry. We'll find her. Just breathe. 911. What's your emergency? My daughter. She's missing. I can't find her anywhere. Ma'am, can you give me your name and address? Victoria Brooks, 123 Main Street. And the missing person's name and age? Rose Brooks. She's 6 years old. She has long, dark hair, light brown eyes, and she was wearing her favorite pajamas, the ones with the little bunnies on them. Mrs. Brooks, we'll send someone over to take a statement. In the meantime, try not to worry. But how can I not worry? She's just a little girl. I understand, ma'am. But it's important that you stay calm and answer the officer's questions clearly. Can you do that? Yes, I'll try. Good. An officer will be there soon. Tori, it's me, Sam. Oh, thank God. I'm so glad you're here. I'm a mess. I told you I'd come. Have the police been here yet? Not yet. They said they'd send someone over soon. Did you find anything else? Any clues? Anything out of place? Nothing. It's like she just vanished into thin air. Her bed was unmade, as if she got up normally. But her favorite stuffed animal, Mr. Snuggles, is gone too. Mr. Snuggles? That's her little teddy bear, right? Yes. She never goes anywhere without him. It's strange. Maybe she took him with her. Did you check the windows? Are any of them unlocked? I don't know. I'll check. The one in the living room was unlocked, but it's too high for her to reach. Oh, God. Do you think someone took her? We don't know that yet, Tori. Let's not jump to conclusions. Maybe she climbed on a chair or something. We need to stay calm and wait for the police. Someone's at the door. I think that's them. Hello? I'm Detective Smith. You must be Mrs. Brooks. Yes, that's me. Come in. I'm here to ask you some questions about your daughter's disappearance. Of course. Anything to help find her. Can you tell me what happened last night? I put Rose to bed around 8 p.m. I read her a story, like always. She was asleep within minutes. I checked on her a few times throughout the night, and she was sound asleep. But when I woke up this morning, she was gone. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Any strange noises? Any cars outside? Anything like that? Nothing. It was a normal night. We had dinner, watched a little TV, then got ready for bed. Everything was fine. What about her father? Is he in the picture? Yes, my husband. But he's deployed overseas. And you're sure you checked everywhere in the house? Yes, I'm positive. I even checked the backyard, the shed, the basement, everywhere. Did Rose have any friends or other family she might have gone to? Anyone she might wander off to see? No, she's only 6. She doesn't have any friends outside of school, and my family lives out of state. All right, Mrs. Brooks. We're going to start our investigation and let you know if we find anything. But before we leave, we'll need to take a look around the house, if that's fine with you. Of course, Detective. Anything to help find my Rose. Thank you. And please, Try to stay hopeful. We'll do everything we can to find your daughter. I appreciate that, Tori. I'm going to go check the park down the street. Rose loves playing there. Maybe she wandered off there last night. That's a good idea. I'll stay here in case the police come back. All right. I'll call you if I find anything. Be careful, Sam. Hello? Tori. It's me. I found something. What is it? Did you find Rose? No, but I found Mr. Snuggles. It was lying on the ground near the playground. Oh my God. What does that mean? I don't know, but it can't be good. I'm going to call the police and let them know. Please, hurry. I'm coming over there right now. No, Tori, wait. The police wouldn't want us to contaminate the scene. Just stay at the house. But I know, but we have to trust them. I'm calling them right now. 911. What's your emergency? Hello, Detective Smith, please. Please hold. Detective Smith speaking. Detective, it's Samantha Jones. Sam, Tori Brooks' friend. I found Rose's teddy bear, the one she always carries around. It was just lying on the ground at the neighborhood park. What? Okay, I'm on my way. Can you stay there and make sure nobody touches anything? Yes, of course. Thank you. I'll be there soon. Tori, the police are on their way to the park. They're going to search the area. Oh God, I hope they find her. I know. We just have to stay positive. I'm trying, but it's getting harder and harder. I get it. Just hang in there. They'll find something. I'm certain of it. Detective Smith, we've searched the entire park, but there's no sign of the girl. Damn it! We need to widen our search. Check all the nearby houses and businesses. See if anyone saw anything. Check security cameras. Anything. We need to find this little girl, and we're running out of time. Yes, sir. Tori, the police are widening their search. They're checking all the houses in the neighborhood, talking to people, looking at security footage. That's good, right? It means they're taking this seriously? Yes. It means they're not giving up. I hope so. I can't lose her. They'll find her, Tori. I know they will. I hope you're right. I think the police are back. Mrs. Brooks, we have some news. Is it about Rose? Did you find her? Yes, we found her. Oh my God, is she okay? Is she hurt? She's alive. But she's been through a lot. We found her in an abandoned house a few blocks from here. She was hiding in a closet. Who took her? Why? Was she hurt? We're still investigating, but we have a suspect in custody. It appears to be a case of a kidnapping gone bad. The suspect has a history of similar offenses. Rose is being checked out at the hospital, but she seems physically unharmed. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe someone would do this. I understand. It's a terrible thing. But the important thing is that Rose is alive. Can I see her? Yes, of course. She's at the hospital right now. We'll take you there. Thank you, Detective. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Mrs. Brooks. We're just glad we could bring your daughter home. Rose! Mommy! Mrs. Brooks. I'm so glad Rose is okay. Me too. I can't believe this nightmare is finally over. I know it's been a long day, but it's a happy ending. Yes, it is. A very happy ending. but frightening nevertheless. We need to get you both home. But first, we'll need to speak with Rose. Detective, Rose has been through a lot. Could we do this tomorrow? Perhaps you could stop by the house around noon. Sure, I understand. I'll have an officer drive you all home. Thank you. And in the meantime, I'm never letting her out of my sight again. I think that's a good idea. Birthday, fear, and marriage. A toast, she exclaimed, holding up her shot, waiting for the others to follow suit. The two men held up their drinks, clinking and laughing. Happy birthday, she yelled unusually loud. I'm sure the whole bar heard her. The birthday man had the biggest smile, looking happy, appreciative, nostalgic, if nostalgic had a look. He had his head cocked to one side, his whole face lit up, but his eyes were deep and distant. The small bistro table reached up to their chests. Even though the bar was dimly lit, displaying the usual neon beer signs and overhead Pabst Blue Ribbon bar lights, I could still see her cheery outfit. A green sequins top, black jeans, and sandals. She had on those antenna headbands sporting springy shamrocks. They bounced around on her head as she talked and laughed. She looked cute for the beginning of spring and St. Patrick's Day, and that thought sent an electrifying pang through me. The guys beside her had green t-shirts, a typical guy effort. The rest of the bar was a steady buzz of clinking, laughter, and the occasional loud outburst of people becoming intoxicated. I'll be right back, said the girl's voice enthusiastically, as she hopped down from her seat and headed towards the ladies' room. Her blouse reflected the lighting, and she appeared to glide away, her long, dark hair trailing behind. The guys chopped it up, patting each other on the back and carrying on like teens. Brothers? Or father and son? I couldn't recall, but they looked slightly alike. Then I remembered that the big guy had an older brother, so this one must have been his son. I got another round, the girl in green declares excitedly. She puts down 3 green beer mugs and returns to retrieve 3 shot glasses. I didn't see her leave the women's restroom and felt annoyed. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss a move. I feel a splash on my wrist, and a tall guy with dark hair and light eyes, who must be 10 years younger than me, is smiling at me. I'm so sorry, he says. I didn't mean to bump your table. I lick off the alcohol from my wrist, and he smiles wider. Can I get you another? Sure, I say. A kamikaze, please. He leaves and returns with drinks for both of us. We engage in small talk, but the conversation takes a twist. It starts to get deep, past relationships and family. And finally, he asks, "Are you single?" I am, I say. It's only been 3 months, but I feel so free now. I know what you mean, he concurs. I've been single for about a year now. Just then, the DJ blasts the perfect dance song, and we look at each other and get up to dance. It is so much fun, I think. I enjoy the sweaty feeling from dancing as my hair sticks to my face and neck. The pheromones in the air, with the slight alcohol buzz, the way the room swirls in the dimness, and the vibe of happiness and opportunity in the bar. My body feels like it is moving exactly how I want it to. I feel sexy and elated. After a 25-minute set, we make our way back to the table. The girls I came with are in their corners, talking to their catches of the day. I didn't come for any of this, but I was glad it found me. He walks over to the bar to get us another round, and I bite my lip as I see his arms flex and reach into his pocket for his wallet. He's cute, my type, and he can carry a conversation. He's not an idiot, I muse. As he walks back towards me, I avert my eyes, acting like I wasn't watching him. But then I see Shamrock Girl. She is hugging the big guy, and the one I assume is the son comes in for a group hug. They hold on to each other, appearing like a tight-knit unit. She must be the sister, I decide. I've heard that the big guy has a sister. A kiss near my lip. He's back. My flirty side goes in for a small nibble. He smiles directly into my eyes, and I can tell I got him. That's so sexy, he glows, after unleashing the shy girl act, engaging in intelligent conversation, being interested in all he says, and validating his masculine gestures. Classic flirting. I arrive at the next step. Teasing. It's not as calculated as it sounds. It comes naturally to me, and I could teach a class as good at it as I am at it. I stare at him as I sip my drink. There is a commotion at the Shamrock Girls' table. A group of guys and a couple of girls come in, high-fiving and hugging the three family members. I hear loud, "Happy birthdays," and there is camaraderie. It's a celebratory moment. I've had enough! I didn't come for this. I stand up, grab my jacket, which feels heavier than usual, and tell my cutie I need to find my friends. He looks disappointed, and I am struggling to keep my composure. My chest starts to feel tight, and my stomach starts to turn. I feel my heart beating faster, and my hands begin to shake. I feel sadness, then resolve, then the anger. I became blind. I walk to the Shamrock Girls' table and stand directly before her. My eyes are hard, and I stare at her. She stops talking, and her face straightens. The big guy, the killer, sucks in his breath. Must be nice, I utter. Must be nice to have a brother to celebrate his birthday with. My voice becomes louder and colder. She doesn't say anything. The surrounding people begin to look towards us. I snatch her hair with exceptional force and yank her face to the table. It is then the rage takes over. "I fucking hate you!" I scream at her. "I hate you," I say to the big guy, attempting to reach for his sister. I pull the small, sharpened, handheld spear I carry and jab it into his hand. He yells and pulls his hand back. It is dawning on her who I am. She thought 25 years ago was long forgotten. The big guy thought it was behind him. He felt he paid his price for killing my brother, his classmate, and his childhood friend. But he didn't. I didn't get to serve my justice. I'm screaming viciously at everyone who is attempting to reach for me. I look like a rat cornered, trying to find a way out. In the corner of my eye, I see my cutie. He doesn't look shocked. He is slightly smiling at me. "Let me do this!" I scream. I raise my other hand with my spear and see myself driving it into her temple as I hold her down with my other hand by her hair. "No, don't," was the only muffled words I heard from her. Screams ensue as I graze her head and stab the table. I plunge over and over on the wooden table beside her head until the adrenaline starts to subside. I realize the music has stopped and the whole bar is watching. The big guy was stunned, but he didn't restrain me. He let me do it, as I asked. He's holding his hand. He mouths, "I'm sorry," as the bar begins to fade into black. I feel someone's arms gently touching my shoulders, and my shoulders start to cave in. I slowly release my grip on her hair and let my hand fall onto my jacket. Her face, smeared with tears and sweat, looks at me as she backs away. It's my cutie's arms. He guides me away, enveloping me with his body for protection. He moves me through the crowd. My hand feels the metal of the gun, the one I bought a couple of years after the big guy killed my brother in an attempt to curb my fear of guns. It remained in its case for over 20 years. I was still afraid of them. The topic came up in my deep conversation with the cutie I met. I told him my plan. He must have thought I was joking, but he was keen when it rolled out like the scenario I painted. As he walked me out of the building, I could hear my friends calling after me. I ignored them and got into my cutie's car. He shut my door and held me. Still feeling numb, we drove to the city. Halfway there, we started opening up again, talking like we had known each other for years. Nothing ever came of that night. Not one thing. There was no police report, and no one ever brought it up. It's almost as if it never happened. I ended up marrying my cutie. He is my soulmate, and I felt complete. A few years later, the feeling came again. I felt the stirring. I began formulating another way to get her. I'd send in my cousin to seduce her, make her fall in love, then break her heart. She needs a broken heart like mine. like a thief in the night. I'm here. The key is under the welcome mat. The alarm is off, and Reuben is at the kennel. Should be no issue getting inside. Neighbors out of town. What time does John arrive home? He's working late, then going to the gym. You have time. For your sake, you best be right. I'm not looking to go back in the pen for some petty crime bullshit. Just get the file off the computer. Easy, easy. Then why haven't you done it yourself? You know why? Yeah, we know. Are you in yet? Yes. The office is down the hall and to the left. Don't turn on the lights. I'm not a fucking amateur. Shit. What is it? What happened? Nothing. Just some asshole left boots lying in the middle of the hallway. John isn't the best housekeeper. Really, you don't? He keeps his other laptop in the third drawer. Got a problem. What? It's locked. Got a key? No, but he's not that creative. Look around the desk. It's gotta be around somewhere. Gum wrappers, crumpled Post-its, pile of receipts. This guy is a hoarder. I know, but he's the only way in. Yeah, so you've said. Listen, the boss doesn't take kindly to liars. No lies. This is legit. Your funeral. You're a funny guy. You know that? Now shut up and find the key. I said you had time, but let's not chance it. Seems to me I'm taking all the chances. Once you find what we need, I'll give credit where credit is due. Think I found something? Is it the key? Does it work? Got it. But we have another problem. What problem? Just open the laptop and find the file listed as hobby. There is no laptop. Drawer is empty. Shit. He must have it. Why on earth would he take that shit to work with him? Think he's on to you? Nah, I'm the least of his worries. Better think of another way. Boss isn't a patient guy. I know. Just give me a minute to think. Shit. This was the best way. We don't have a minute. We got company. No, can't be John. He's still at work. Sure about that? Positive? His tracker says he's sitting at his shitty cubicle as we speak. We're good. False alarm. Just some idiot lost and used the driveway to turn around. Fuck, man. You had me worried. Look, here's what you're going to do. First, need you to lock the door, then break a window. I'll arm the alarm. He'll get the call and come home. Wait him out. When you seize the opportunity, get the laptop. I could just kill him. No, you can't just kill him. What are you talking about? Just stick to the plan. Hide, get the laptop, find the file, and get out. Never good at hiding, but I'll see what I can do. The door is locked, ready for the broken window. Say when. When? Ooh, hell. What happened? Cut my fucking hand. You wearing gloves? Can't just be leaving blood all over the place. That's how people get caught, asshole. I'm not an amateur. Of course, I have gloves on. Been doing this longer than you've been alive, you snot-nosed yuppie. Just keep your trap shut. Shit, the alarm didn't go off. What a damn surprise. Another problem. Just a sec. I need to shut off the power and reset it. Stop fucking telling me and just do it. All right, get ready to cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Aw, fuck, that's loud. Hide. Turn that shit off. I can't. John needs to be notified. Hurry up! I'm going fucking deaf here. Hold on. You hold on, you asshole. Alarm is blaring through my fucking eardrums. When I get a hold of you, no one will recognize you. I'm going to take my fucking time. My knife will dull and need sharpening between breaks. All right, John is on the move. Shut it off. The company will in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to kill you. Don't forget to hide. I'm in the closet already. Ran in here after the alarm went off. John is en route. Fantastic. So, boss is calling. Going to join him on the call. Boys, we have the file yet? Not yet, boss. What's the holdup? This entire operation is a total fuck-up. This yuppie has us chasing our tails. He's a fucking liar. I'm not lying. The file exists. How was I to know he would bring the laptop with him? He's been your mark for months. Gentlemen, enough. I want that file. Yuppie and my guy is the best. No one better to lift sensitive material than him. Guide him best you can and let him do his job. Yes, sir. Yes, boss. Good. Talk to you boys soon. You are such an asshole, yuppie. Me? You're the one trying to get me killed? Oh, I'm not trying. I'm going to kill you. You'll forget all about maiming me when you get that file. Not maim, kill. As in murder. Yeah? Well, that will have to wait, because John has arrived. I'll just kill him. No, just be patient. He's in the house. Remember the plan. Wait him out. Once you see an opportunity, take it. We can't leave here without the file. I don't know how I ever got tied up in this. I mean, you get a little behind in your bets, and next thing you know, you're babysitting some asswipe for the boss and breaching intel. The file is there. I know it is. He just went in the bathroom, and the shower is kicked on. I'm taking my shot. Don't kill him. Wait. Shit. I'm a dead man if we don't get that file. I have a sure thing in play, about to make a huge payoff. This can't be the end for me. Got the laptop. Looking for the file now. It's named Hobby. Go it. Transferring. 30%, 50%, 75%, 90%, 100%. We got it in the clear, yuppie. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Don't thank me. I'm still leaning towards killing you. More importantly, I need to get this file to the boss, who will be pleased to own hard evidence against this freak. Good job, yuppie. You may just live after all. I suggest you no longer take bets. Hell, get out of the game altogether, or else the boss may find more work for you. And if you don't deliver next time, I'll see you at the funeral. Goodbye, for now. Wait, don't hang up. Aw, yuppie. Gonna miss me? Don't sweat it, kid. What was that? Sounded like a gunshot. Did you shoot him? What's going on? Talk to me. Hello, Charlie. Hello, John. Bafts. I don't think you should. I really don't think you should. Get your anxiety under control. Do you know the consequences of doing something like this? Do you know the consequences of not doing it? We could die. We could die. So many more can die if we don't. You're not thinking. You're being selfish. Selfish? Did you ever consider that we're here because we're heroes? Heroes? Do you have a god complex? If we pull this off, we'll save millions. Tell me that's not heroic. So you are doing it to be famous? No. The money? Stop. The glory. You're distracting me. We have more work to do. I don't think we should. Now there's a we? Sha. You can turn back, but I'm going. Don't leave me. Go back the way we came. It's a straight shot to the exit. I'm dizzy. Breathe. I'm so faint. I don't have time for this. Ow! Why did you do that? You deserved it. I don't think I did. Fine. Stay here then. Don't leave. I have to keep moving. You're such an Shh. What's that? Shh. What's that? We're running out of time. Come on. What was that? Not sure. It came from the way we came. So, no exit? Likely not. No choice but to keep it moving. How much longer? Are you really asking me if we're there yet? No, I'm asking you how much longer until we get there. Here. What's this? What do you think it is? Well, it's obviously map, but it looks like my son drew it. Shh. I don't know. Someone else, maybe? Shh. We're fine. Just stay quiet. Those aren't people. Get off me. Then be quiet. What? They're bats. Bats? Wait. Where are you going? Bats. Are you scared of bats? Of course I'm not scared of bats. You seem very scared about the bats. Stop saying bats. Come on, let's keep moving. Are you scared of things that fly? No, I'm not scared of bats. Now shut up and give me the map. It's okay that you're scarred down. Shut up. It's this way. Let's keep moving. Why? If it was just bats, then we can go back. Humanity's survival depends on it. Oh, really? Let's think. We're in a dark cave, trying to find the greatest threat to humanity. With a map that looks like it was drawn by a toddler, we almost got mauled by bats. And now we're lost. We're not lost? Then where are we? We're close. Left or right? Left. The bats went left. Right. Yup. I mean, let's go right. Because you're scared of the bats? Because the bats won't go where the weapons is. Right. Right. How do you know it's a weapon? What? The Corp never said it was a weapon. They said They didn't know what the threat looks like. What else could it be? A person. A person? Really? I don't know. I don't know what we're looking for, or how our bosses don't know anything either. With all the money at the Corp, you would think they would have a better idea, or a better map. We know it's a threat to humanity, and it's somewhere in this cave. Right. No, I don't think right was right. Are you saying that because of this dead end? Let's backtrack and go left. With the bats? With the bats. What if it's a bat? What? What if the greatest threat to humanity is a bat? A megabat? Do you hear yourself? Megabat? It's happened before. Humans are the greatest threat to humanity and the things they create. We're looking for a weapon. A thing. Whatever you say, let's follow the bats. You're so grumpy. Will you please shut it? Tam. I'm hungry. We don't have food. What do you mean we don't have food? We didn't bring food. We were supposed to be there already. What time is it? Oh, 200. No wonder. It's lunchtime. Lunch at 2 in the morning. I work the overnight shift. So, 10. What is it you do on the overnight shift? I'm the custodian. The custodian? Shh, you'll wake the bats. Explain. Right now. But explain, or we're not moving. And we're not eating. I thought you didn't have food. Explain. Now. Fine. I work as the custodian for the Corp. Do you know Dr. Merlin? Never met her. Everyone says she's a kook. She's no kook. She's a genius. Very smart. Is that trail mix? Finish your story, and you get it. Last week, she was on edge. So I say, Dr. M, what's up? Yeah? And she tells me that there's new intelligence about some threat, and all of the field agents are cowardly salads. Cowardly salads? She's a tough lady, but she talks like an old-timey movie star sometimes. Her expressions. All right. So how did you end up here? Well, I told her that if there was anything else I could do to help her to let me know. So she put you in the field? Did you even have any training? I got about a week of training with the Corp. Are you kidding me? Can I have that trail mix? You didn't think to mention any of this to me before? I thought you knew. Trail mix? Here, let's keep moving. Holy shit. Uh-oh? No. I told you it was Bafts. Hey, my trail mix. Focus. Why aren't they on the ceiling? They look like they're protected something. Someone. What? Look, there's hair. Oh, no. Nope. Nope. I'm not going in there. Give me the trail mix. Stop thinking about food. Give it to Gra. Maybe they eat trail mix. Stop throwing it. You're gonna piss them off. Look, they like it. What are you doing? They'll follow the trail of the mix. Fuck this and fuck you. Stupid corp putting me down here with a... It's working. Cowardly salad. Don't even Is that a real person? I told you the weapon wasn't a thing. Here, bats. Here, my little cutie patooties. Hey! Yes, you are misunderstood, little guys. No? Hey, she's not real. What? Who? The lady that the bats were crowding around. She looks fake. Like dummy, or a mannequin or something. Oh no. What? I think that's Dr. Merlin. The kook? It's a good replica, like in a wax museum. You ever go to Madame Tussauds? Focus. I am. It's a good copy. Only thing is, the ring is wrong. She wears it on her left hand. Don't touch her! Wow. Did you just do that? I think so. I didn't mean to. It opened when I tried to move her ring. Why did you? Is that a laptop in her abdominal cavity? It's a transmitter. Is that a countdown? And coordinates. Do you know navigation? I know that one is New York. That's Moscow. 2 minutes. I think it's calibrated to all the major cities. 1 minute, 50 seconds. I can see that. I think it'll send signals to those coordinates where there's likely bombs or nukes or something. The mechanism can't be communicating via satellite. There's no service here. Yeah, not even the sat phone's working down here. It must be low-frequency transmissions, perhaps to another point right outside of the cave, which then likely connects via satellite. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We don't have time to find the outside receiver, so we'll have to block the waves from here. You know a lot about radios for a custodian. Before I immigrated, I was a radio specialist for my country's special forces. Okay. I didn't know. You never asked. So what do? We need to get the bats back. What? They were keeping the equipment at the ideal temperature while keeping themselves cool against metal Merlin. If we can lure them back, then maybe they can provide enough insulation to cut the signal. That's stupid. That's plan B. What's plan A? We only have 1 minute. Plan A is that I will try to jam the equipment with my tools. Okay. What can I do? Go get the bats. What? I'm not familiar with this system. So plan A might not work. 45 seconds. Get the bats back here. Scare them, and they'll flock to Merlin. How do you know that? Do you have any other ideas? How am I supposed to scare the bats? They don't like fire. Take this Zippo and make a torch from something. I don't think. 30 seconds. Merlin, what have you done? I believed in you. Now you betray humanity like this. What a shame, because you really are a genius. I have no idea how you made this transmitter, but it is very elegant. I'm impressed, disappointed, but also very impressed. 10 seconds. We're not going to make it. Oh. Yes, over here, cutie patooties. Go to your mama. Go, go. Why are you in your underwear? I put my clothes over Robot Merlin to try and damp the signal. Why are your underwear? I made torches. Good work. Yeah, you too. Do you think it worked? We won't know until we get outside. Let's go then. Here, take a torch. Thanks. Man, you were a very brave salad with the bats. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't ask you anything about yourself, and for slapping you. All good. Do you have any more trail mix? Quest in time. Where is Julienne? It is a question that has haunted my mother, father, and myself. It was 3 years ago when my life changed forever. My sister, Julienne, disappeared coming home from Red Oak Park, a county recreation site about 20 miles west of Jonesburg, a small town south of Cleveland, Mississippi. The park had a pond with access to Lake Colbert and the Mississippi River. Lots of trees and hiking trails, campgrounds, and a couple of boat docks. My sister and her boyfriend had gone to the park to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. The two had gotten into an argument. She had gotten mad, told him to find his own way home, and had gotten in her car and left. First of all, you might be wondering why my sister was driving. That had a lot to do with the argument they had got into. Her boyfriend, Steve Simich, was currently a stalker in a grocery store, did not have a car, at least not one that worked, was trying to finish college, although not very successfully, and didn't seem too worried about whatever was ahead. My sister, on the other hand, Julienne Harden, had finished college, worked a full-time job, and was preparing for a life with a house, a family, and a future. Although there was no doubt she loved him, I believe that, looking back, she was beginning to doubt how much he loved her. His unwillingness or inability to move forward in a responsible manner was a red flag she couldn't ignore. So, that being the case, according to Steve's account, she blew her stack, fussed at him, and jumped in the car, speeding off down the road. She was never seen again. The police were called when she didn't make it home that night. Steve was interviewed, But the fact that he had to call a friend to pick him up at the park, something that was verified by the police, seemed to clear him of any part in my sister's disappearance. We called on friends and family, searched the roads between our house and the park, but found no sign of her or her car. 3 days later, her car was found in a church parking lot. There was no video or security camera, so no evidence of who left it there. No matter how we searched or the police investigated, no evidence of her has been found since. I was 17, a freshman at Hobart University when this happened. She was 22, a graduate from the same college and just starting her life. Although my questions started then, my quest didn't begin until my senior year, when I was finishing up a degree in criminal justice. My last semester at college, I had a chance to get an internship with the county sheriff's office, and I worked to get located at the same precinct that had investigated my sister's case. I did not mention my sister because I was afraid that they might see my placement there as some kind of conflict of interest. Luckily, it had been long enough since my sister disappeared that the detective assigned to the case, Jonathan Lucker, seemed not to recognize me or remember my name. I kept a low profile, determined not to be found out. I started in late January, with responsibilities to be assigned on a daily basis. My boss was Sergeant Holcroft, a middle-aged black woman who talked with a hard-nosed tone, but showed empathy and caring if you looked deep enough. In between cleaning interview rooms, filing personnel records, and filling out supply forms, I perused the computer, which I now had at least limited access to, and prowled the evidence locker to see what I could find out about my sister. Unfortunately, I could find very little that I didn't already know. She had left the park about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, according to her boyfriend's testimony, and started home. That was the last time she was seen. Being a long stretch of mostly rural highway, they could find no witnesses that saw her on the road, nor could they find anything that showed how the car ended up at the church parking lot. There weren't any fingerprints, DNA, blood, or any other clues in the car. And I was now determined to find out what happened to her. The only thing they found in her car was a plastic fork, not used, lying on the floorboard. Her purse and coat were in the back seat, as if they had been moved out of the way. Did that mean someone had joined her in the car? No one knew. I pored through the files on the computer and in the records themselves, looking at every note, form, report from other agencies that had been gathered until I could name, page, and paragraph where a certain fact could be found. "What are you looking at?" a voice suddenly interrupted me as I pored over papers on the back row desk that I had taken over. I was so concentrating on understanding everything that I could about my sister's case, I didn't notice the approach of Detective Lucker. This might not be good, I thought. Sorry. I sat back in my seat. I thought I would familiarize myself with some processes used to investigate cases, including your sister's case, I see, he said. Detective Lucker was short, slightly bald-headed, with a thin gray mustache, thick fingers, and eyes that looked straight through you. I sat back even more, surprised that he knew who I was. I had been counting on a non-existent anonymity, it seems like. He smiled. Yes, I remember you. I don't forget cases that haven't been solved, nor the people involved in them. I also don't have any problem with you researching the case. However, that may not be true of everyone in the office. There are 2 caveats, he continued. One is that you don't do anything that would jeopardize the case. You don't contact anyone. You don't mess with the evidence. You don't talk to anyone else in the office. If you have questions, you come to me. Secondly, if you come up with any facts, theories, or other information related to your sister's disappearance, you come directly to me immediately. Do you understand? I nodded enthusiastically. From having to sneak around, watching my back, to being given permission to research all I wanted to, discreetly, of course, was more than I could hope for. Yes, sir, I answered quickly. Anything that you have to tell me? He followed up with the to-be-expected question. No, sir. I shook my head. Nothing yet, he pointed at me. If you do find anything, let me know immediately. I will give you some hints, he continued. The boyfriend was investigated thoroughly. He had no motive, and we were able to confirm that he was at the park until he was picked up by a friend about 4:30. We could also not find any other friends or acquaintances who had motive or opportunity. She was traveling home, alone. You will see all this on the report. Her phone stopped sending signals not long after it left the park. Whether she turned it off or the battery died, we don't know. From what Steve told the family after it happened, I interrupted. He tried to call her many times after she left. Knowing my sister, she probably turned her phone off so as to not be bothered by his frantic messaging. The detective nodded. That sounds reasonable. Again, let me know if you find anything, he said, and walked away. I took that as a command not to be trifled with, but I didn't care. Anything I found out would have been on his desk the next day anyway. So, in that regard, nothing had changed. Except now, I had permission. I didn't have to feel guilty about doing my behind-the-scenes snooping, and better yet, my quest to find out what happened to my sister was on full throttle. I am sure there are cliches that I haven't used yet, but stay tuned. I spent the next several days in between doing the job that I was actually hired to do, going through the folders that I had found in the evidence files. The police had very little to go on. They didn't know when or where she disappeared. except it was somewhere between the park and the town, 20 miles away. They looked at security cameras along the main road, but although they saw similar makes and models, were not able to positively identify my sister's car. One note said that a similar type of vehicle was shown passing by a gas station, but did not show up in any other images between there and town. Again, did that have anything to do with my sister? Was it someone else who turned off to go home, visit someone, or head down a more rural road where only farms existed with no cameras or security images? I continued my research over the next several weeks, heading toward the time when my internship was fast running out. When the college semester ended, so did my internship. Luckily, the officer I worked for basically let me do my own thing and didn't assign me too many additional responsibilities that would make my research even more difficult. I wondered if Detective Lucker had said something to her, but I was afraid to ask. More and more, I became frustrated because there was so little to go on, and I came to appreciate how difficult the initial investigation had been. I feared that my question would remain unanswered until suddenly my duties as an intern helped me find the clue that I had been looking for. I was cleaning up folders from the conference room to be refiled after a meeting when I happened to look at the heading on one file: Sarah Jane Fuller, missing person. The tab on the folder read. Curious, I closed the conference room door, sat down, and opened it up. There were the usual reports and a picture of the missing girl. Attractive white girl with brown hair and a thin, pointed chin. Her eyes seemed to stare at me. I quickly placed it on the table and read the basic details. She had disappeared the year after my sister and was driving from eastern Tennessee through Mississippi, heading to New Orleans. Although there were interstate highways that provided fast and safe passages, for some reason, she was driving along the Mississippi River, taking back roads and rural highways. Her family said that she loved the river and visited it as often as she could, no matter what state she was in. So there was a possibility that she had driven that way for the scenery. Her phone had stopped pinging on Highway 17, just east of Rosewood, a town not far from the river. To me, the interesting part was that my sister Julianne would have taken the same route, at least part of the way. Like my sister, her car was later found in a deserted parking lot. Again, like my sister, there were no security cameras that picked up any footage of her car, or anything else. Were there any other missing people in the last 5 or so years? I found another candidate, this one an older man. Timothy Mitchell was last seen at a friend's house on Takeoff Ard in June 2022. Takeoff Road ran south and north of Highway 17. This occurred last year, again in the Thanksgiving or Christmas time frame. Another coincidence? His truck had never been found. I kept looking, but found no other missing persons in that geographic area, at least in the last 5 years. But why that area? It was probably as simple as the perpetrator lived close, but was there more to it? I researched every chance I got. When I wasn't doing my day job, or going to school, or anything else I was legitimately supposed to be doing. The end of my internship was approaching rapidly, and I was fast running out of time. In fact, tomorrow was going to be my last day. I kept looking at the files, searching for anything that might be related. Just as I was fixing to hang it up for the day, the year, and perhaps forever, I found the key. I knew now why the location mattered. Would that lead to the person or persons we were looking for? Would that lead me to Julianne? At noon the next day, I was sitting in my car outside of Josephine's Roadhouse, an old-fashioned restaurant located on Highway 17, halfway between the river and Jonesburg, hoping that the person I was waiting for would show up. I gave a big sigh of relief when a familiar car pulled into the parking lot and Detective Lucker stepped out. I had left an invitation on his desk before leaving the night before, since today I would be involved in out-processing, turning in paperwork, filling out forms, etc., and would probably have very little time to see him in person. The invitation was vague, but stressed that it was not a social event and might be very important to an answer that we both wanted. I met him in the parking lot, and we walked into the building. It was as old-fashioned inside as it was outside, with plaid tablecloths, white walls covered with old portraits, plaster statues on tables in each corner, and pictures of customers above each booth. We sat down and started looking at the menu. I was waiting for the detective to ask something, but he kept quiet, obviously content to leave it up to me. After we ordered, I looked at him, hoping that I wasn't going to sound like an idiot or nutcase. "Thank you for meeting me on short notice," I started off with. He nodded, but didn't reply. "I was researching, as you are aware, and I found some interesting coincidences," I said. "What coincidences?" he asked, already looking intrigued. I told him about the missing people besides Julianne, and stressed that this was only based on an initial search, and there might be more. "What makes you think they are related?" he asked. "The location was the first thing that came to mind," I replied. They were all thought to be either on Highway 17 or approaching or leaving the highway. Also, the time of year. All disappearances occurred in the November or December time frame. "I am assuming you found out what was so special about Highway 17, he asked. I nodded. "I believe I did. That is why I asked you to meet me here today," I said, taking a deep breath. Almost a year before my sister went missing, a wreck occurred on Highway 17. In that wreck, Joanne McKenzie, a 54-year-old mother of 2, was killed. she supposedly lost control and hit a tree head-on. The car was old, and the airbag failed to deploy. Supposedly, the detective asked, as I had expected him to. The son, Timothy McKinsey, who was 21 years old at the time, did not agree with the police report. He kept saying to anyone who would listen that it was no accident, that his mother was murdered, and that the police were negligent. He complained to the news, to the city and county authorities, and even to the state. I found records online of letters he wrote to websites and news outlets all the way up until October of the next year. October? The deputy asked, his voice suddenly sounding very curious. I nodded. The last thing I saw was about a month before my sister's disappearance. Maybe he just gave up and stopped fighting a lost cause. Maybe, I agreed. Except he also reached out after my sister's disappearance, as well as the other disappearances, by writing letters or posts about how unsafe our state highways were. You think that he is involved in these disappearances in some way? I do. These disappearances emphasize how unsafe the roads are, and that there are people out there who could be responsible for his mother's death. By causing these people to disappear, he is getting his vengeance on the entire state. But wouldn't these actions result in increased police presence, in making it harder for him to commit future crimes? Maybe, I answered. But it hasn't happened yet. The other thing, as I mentioned, was the time frame. These 3 disappearances occurred within a month or so of the date that his mother was killed. And Mackenzie and his family have a farm off Highway 17. We have time, location, motive. The detective thought for a minute. Even if this unlikely story is true, we have no evidence to tie him to any crime. One other thing. I leaned forward. His mother is buried on a private cemetery on the McKinsey property. Where is a better place to hide bodies than in a cemetery, especially a private one? And, I continued, even a private cemetery has to be licensed by the county and is subject to health and welfare inspections. I leaned back. My case was made. Now it was up to the detective. He thought for a minute. Okay, was all he said before getting up to go. I will take care of it. Any reason that we met here? He asked his last question. Yes, I said. The McKinsey family owns this restaurant. I waited and watched him leave. I had no doubt that he would find a way onto the property. And, unfortunately, I also had no doubt that he would find the missing people, and that my question would finally be answered. Where was Julienne? I was fixing to find out. Soap, do not touch me. Calm down. Let me take that from you. It would probably be best for us all if you ease up on the wine. Piss off. It does not matter anymore if anyone sees, right? You ought to be grateful too, Darren. Cheers. Keep your voice down. Please, stay seated. Stop. That two-faced best... Oh, Sorry, you surprised me, little one. Sissy, are you leaving already? Well, come now. Do not fret. I shall be back soon. All right then. What is that you have there in your hand? A bar of soap. Do you work here? No? I don't think so. What is that supposed to mean? Tell me your name then. I don't remember. Oh God. I believe my name is lost to me as well. Bad. This is nonsense. Does anything come to mind? Nothing. Well? Nothing. Are you sure? I guess. Just a feeling of pain in my ribs. A blackout type of pain. And then I found myself here, standing in front of this store. That is not very promising. Have you tried using the telephone at the till? Yes. The dial tone goes on forever. And all these random items in the aisles? Nothing good? I looked. But this bar of soap is all you managed to find? Tess, I apologize. I might be starting to lose it a bit. Quite a bit, to be fair. It's fine. Let's just... I think we should try to piece together what we know, what we can try to find out. Okay? If you say so. All right. What do you remember about how you got here? I only remember feeling weightless. I could not feel my legs. I could not breathe and... Well, it was awful. And you also found yourself outside the store's entrance afterwards? Indeed. That's interesting. I'll tell you what happened before you got here. But you're going to have to keep an open mind to believe me. That's fine. It's about the soap. If you do not drop that wretched soap, let me finish. And so, before you got here, I was going through all the aisles, right? When I walked through this one, something, I can't place what it was, drew me to touch the bar. When I did, everything around me kind of morphed into another place. Oh, please, do not make light of this. No, it really happened. It was like entering a memory, and I was someone else at some sort of dinner party. When I came back from it, you walked inside. It cannot be. Why are we here? I do not understand. Anne? I think we're dead. And this store holds dead people's things. And get up. Get up. Now. Do not roll your eyes at me, you little. You just get dressed now. I laid your clothes on the dresser. Stop wasting time. We are to leave in 15. Mother, I cannot wear this. The lacing almost suffocated me just the other week. Skip dinner. I do not care. Your wardrobe consists of absolutely nothing but whoring attire. When did you buy all this rubbish? I forbid you to place it back. Come back here. You are not leaving with those ridiculous clothes on. They are practically undergarments. Just leave me be. Are you trying to embarrass me? Your father? What will the English families think of us? They already mock us. Anne, open this door at once, or I shall reveal your habit of drink to the entire club. Do not presume I am not willing to see you completely ruined. And go ahead. Have at it then. Oh, is that so? Shall I also call Lolly here? Let us see what she has picked up from you, what she needs to rid herself of. No, just stop. I am coming out. Good. Now, strip and hand those over. It seems I need to inform Maid Sadia that your room is to be properly cleaned out. Worry not, Mother. You will not see it again. That is for sure. It's you. What? I'm seeing your life. How do you know I saw you in a mirror? And this whole time that life has been mine then, I had a small suspicion that it would be one of us. But each memory trip was so quick and scattered in time, I could never piece them together. Also, there's something else I found out. I've told you before that I can't hear anything in the memories. I believe so. Only thoughts with an indistinct inner voice? Yeah, but with the thoughts, I can technically hear other people in the memories. Maybe because of how our minds process words. Yes, and the woman who you called Mother. She said your name, my mother. So, what am I called then? Hera? It fits you. Why is that? I don't know. I just like that name, I guess. Oh? And do you like anything else about me? A lot of things. Good answer. Shall we try that aisle over there today? Maybe we will finally find an item for me to explore. Okay. But you're not curious about why I'm seeing your life in particular. I am. Though something tells me I do not want to know why. Why? She is bleeding too much. You have already started. Might as well finish up. No need to do this. Hold her. Oh gods. No, stay back. Idiot. Keep her quiet. No one can know about this. When you are done, place this in her hand. Why? Symbolism, boy. There is to be a mad killer on the loose, cleansing sin in the ton. I cannot believe you touched it again. I didn't. I swear. It sounds stupid, but the soap literally flew into my hand when I wasn't looking. Stop, Hera. Please say something. Did you see everything this time? How it ends? Yes, Vanta. Do you want to know? No. But I know I ought to. Figure it is time to learn why that damned bar of soap is essential to my past life. I think you should too. What if this is it? I would not want to leave you. If you do, well, I'm just thankful for meeting you, even if it is after death. I only wish we knew your name as well. I don't need to know my own name. I know yours, and it's enough. So today's story has come to an end. Or perhaps it never really ended. There are mysteries still there, questions still unanswered, and sometimes things that seem to only exist in stories can creep into reality in unexpected ways. Are you sure that when you turn off the sound, everything around you will still be normal as before? Or is there something watching you? Either way, always remember that these are just stories, or at least we want to believe that they are. If you like moments of suspense, tension and breathlessness, don't forget to follow me so you don't miss the next stories. And next time, when you come back, make sure you are ready, because what awaits you may be even scarier than you thought. See you again if you still have the courage to continue listening.